three ideas that I've had about doors. The door just slammed on someone's way out. Okay, first thing, every person is a new door to a different world. And I believe that. And I have said that many years ago. That's what I discovered and I really felt. And then, yeah. I'm going to start that over. So, okay, third time's a charm. Okay, so three things about doors. Two truths and one lie. The first one, I will start again. Every person is a new door to a different world. I believe that. I believed that years ago, and I still believe that. That's true. That is so true. The second one, love is an open door. That's from that song in Frozen that Anna sings. Love is an open door. I thought that was true, but that's the lie. The third thing about doors, this is my truth, love is knowing when to open and close your door. That is true. So that was two truths and one lie. One lie that we've been fed is that love is an open door. I don't believe that, because I feel that to love yourself and to love others, you need to know when to open your door and when to close your door, for your good and for their good. Having boundaries, preserving your energy. There's times in your life where you will need to have a place of respite, a place of, shelter, so that you can replenish your own energy. And so you will need to close your door for a while. You're not shutting out love. You're just protecting yourself so that you can focus on loving yourself. Okay, and then there's times when you can open that door back up and you can extend your love outward to others, and you can welcome them in again. But it will have to be on your terms. It will have to be, you would have to self-gauge that, when to open and shut your door. Because there needs to be a balance. Like I talk all the time about balance. That is the balance that you need to have. So in the movie Frozen, Elsa shut herself out. I mean, she shut herself in. She shut everyone else out. At the time, she needed to do that. That was her dark night of the soul. That was what she needed at that time in order to gather herself and learn about herself and figure out herself. And yes, it may have felt like it was hurting others by shutting them out, and then she, she ran off, physically ran off, but I think it was more of an emotional running off to find herself, and to claim her power and to figure out who she really is. So she came to know her true self, and she she invited the dark and the light, her shadow and the parts of herself that are already visible and are already accepted. But then the shadow side of her, she accepted that as well. And she integrated those two parts of herself. And then she was able to come back into society and have a more balanced experience within her community, within herself first, but then within her community, because she really knew, she discovered who she really was. So Elsa's closing of her door, that's what she needed to do at that time. And Anna's wanting the door to be open, and the feeling of not feeling loved because someone else had their door closed. Yeah, that's another story, where we have to not equate someone else's shutting us out to self-love. Like, we have to first love ourselves, because no one else is going to give that to you. You have to give it to yourself. So I think it's great that we all have doors that we can open and close when we need to. And I think it's beautiful when someone else lets you in their door and they are inviting and welcoming you in to their space, to their world, which is different than your world, because we don't all have the same world, right? We're all experiencing everything differently. We're not all the same. And so when you let somebody else into your world, in some ways I could see why Anna felt that love is an open door, because you're receiving. Elsa's receiving her in. But the timing, it has to be mutual. It has to be mutual. And Anna needed to learn that she was not the one to decide when the door is open and when the door is closed. That was Elsa's door, and it's up to her. And we each have our own doors, and we each have our own reasons for opening and closing our doors. And it does not mean that when your door is closed, it does not mean that there is not love. Sometimes we need to close our doors. That's sometimes better for a relationship, because, okay, I'm going to use an example of, I was just outside a little earlier before making this video. It was sort of just sprinkling. It's been raining today. I was out back because I wanted to earth, because I really feel it's helping me to stay grounded in many ways. And so I was out there, had an umbrella, but my 3 dogs came out of the doggy door. They wanted to go out there with me. And then after a while, it started to rain a little bit more heavily. It wasn't just sprinkling. And so they were getting pretty wet, and they wouldn't go back in. And because their doggy door was open. And, that was their decision whether to come in the house or to stay outside, because their door was open or closed based on what they wanted. But I decided after a while, I was like, they're not going in and they're getting all wet, and maybe they need to go in. And so I decided, well, I'm going to go in now so that maybe they'll follow me in. And they did. But then later on, I saw that one of the dogs had gone out again because, they do what they want. As far as opening and closing doors, they come in and go when they want, because when that portal is open for them, that's what they do. They have free access to in and out, not the fast food. Anyway, yes. So, yeah, I don't know. That song came to my head about love is an open door, and the first thought I had was, no, it isn't. It's not. Love is not an open door. Love is knowing when to open the door and when to shut the door. That is what love is. And, yeah, so I came in the house so my dogs would possibly follow me in and could get dry, because I thought maybe that'd be better for them. And they did follow me in, but it was still their decision. They could do what they want. I did not block that door for them. I let them decide whether to come in or go out, because that's their door. Anyway, that's it. I thought the video was done, and I even started preparing it to post it, but there's another part that just keeps coming in my mind, and it's part of integrating, like I've been saying, it's my own integration of the light and the dark, and the parts of me that make me a whole person. And some of that includes my past, and the things that I've learned and accepted along the way, some of which I don't accept anymore. But this particular thing I'm starting to feel better about, even though I have a different view of religion, Christianity, spiritual stuff, all of that. I have a different view from the way I've always had it. The essence, the foundation of the teachings of Christ, for me, those are still much of the foundation of truth that I still live by. Anyway, so this is me trying to integrate all of the light and the dark within myself, and to accept what my truth is. And okay, so this part, maybe those of you who believe in God and Jesus Christ and all that, okay, talking about doors again, still talking about doors, and I just want to bring it back to even Jesus Christ did not have an open door policy. he did not have his door wide open for everybody. There were times when people had access to him. So like when he was here, physically here, and then also later on when he's physically not here anymore, there's times when he let people have access. And then there's times when the door was closed, but mostly, like you may see in some pictures or even in the scriptures, in the Bible, there's this image of he stands on the inside of the door. There's a door, right? And he stands on the inside of that door waiting. That's what the idea is that he's waiting on the inside of that door and waiting for you to knock on the door, because he's the one that has the power over opening and closing that door. Okay? And you can knock, and he may open it. It's his decision. And he showed that. See, there was no door handle, right? No door handle for you on the outside. You cannot open that door. You have to knock, and you have to wait for him to let you in. Okay. He did that in his life while he was here too, because if you look at the pattern of his ministry, he would balance everything out by being with people and letting them have access to him. He had his door open at those times, and then he would go off and be by himself, and that was when his door was closed. And there's many accounts of this in all the New Testament. You will get this overall teaching of opening and closing your door, and finding that balance. And Jesus Christ showed how to do that. There's a time for being with people and helping and serving them, but then there's also a time for being by yourself and regathering your personal resources. And I just wanted to point that out, because I don't know which analogies are going to help somebody, because I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know your background. And just in case that would be helpful to have another, like, more religious perspective, then I'm gonna offer that, because I have been brought up in a religious environment, a Christian environment, that has shaped me in many ways into who I am today. But there's just like that thing that I said, like Anna saying, love is an open door. The truth has been distorted. And so anyway, so I'm only taking the things that are true for me and keeping those, and all the other things that are, when I've come to realize certain things are distortions of truth. That some of them I just can't accept. So Anyway, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about opening and closing your door when you need to. And you are the one with the power, because you're the one with the door handle on the inside. And you can open and shut that door anytime you want, anytime you need to. No one else, excuse me, sorry, no one else has access to that door handle. It's not up to them to decide and to open that door whenever they want. They cannot have access to you unless you open the door to them. So, learning when to open and close your door to maintain a balance that you can live with and that others will learn how to live with. And that is actually empowering them to do the same thing. So if you are a follower of Jesus Christ and you love his teachings, go back and look and see that that's exactly what he did. And we, those of us who believe in Jesus Christ and his teachings, we could say that he was a very loving, giving person. But he had to have boundaries. Just like us, we have to have boundaries. So he was a good example of how to do some good, but then take a break and then come back and, to create that balance for yourself. We are not meant to go. And we are not meant to keep our doors open. Our cell phones have not helped us in that matter. Our cell phones, having people having access to us just anytime they want, that has not helped us to feel like we have control over our doors. So, yeah, take control over the opening and closing of your door. And you have permission to do that. Give yourself permission to do that. And if someone else does not open their door to you at the time that you want them to open the door, and you're standing there knocking and they don't want to open the door to you at that time, don't think that it's because they don't love you. And if you're seeking love, the best place to look is inside. Fill your cup. Fill your personal self-worth cup. Fill that first, and then you won't need that from everybody else, because you can give it to yourself. And then the excess that comes from outside of you, the love that's reflected back to you, it's going to feel wonderful, but you're not dependent upon somebody else to love you first. You love yourself first. And open the door to yourself. Keep that door open all the time. Keep that love flowing all the time. All right. I think I'm done now. I think that's all that needed to be said.